Good evening, Slot family. Anthony Bateman Sr. here from Minota Raceway. Come to you tonight and showing you my trains. I had Slot Car family ask me about it. Joe Sabatino. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce your name, Joe. But tonight I'm going to pull the stuff down and I'm going to take it out of my bedroom and then brought down to my man cave. And I'm going to show you the first train my wife bought me. Hello to John Deaver. Hey, John, to you and your wife, Kim. All right, here we go. First, I'll show you my beautiful wife, Anne Marie. There she is. And boy, do I miss her. And then I have her remains here. Hers and then my ex-wife's also. And plus Anne Marie's dog. She had a beautiful shepherd. The dog's name was Cassie, but I called her Casalina. Okay. So, finally doing this. Can't believe I'm removing these trains, but it's time. So here's my wife and I. When I come home from work, I just turn my shirt upside down. I mean backwards, inside out. And my mother-in-law, my two good friends in the department, my friend Tony Eman, they got killed on a motorcycle. Terry right here, Andrus, I cry about him all the time, and my friend Tony Eman. My daughter and her husband, Desiree and Ben. Mrs. Mafuccio is a dear sweetheart. And Chet Chanowski, a dear friend of the family. And my two stepkids that I don't never see. And my wife and I had Bell's palsy. There's like a glare on there. And we took a ride on this duck down in Boston, a duck tour. And I wanted to see the Boston Aquarium. And my wife, when my face got all twisted, I thought my wife would fall out of love with me. And she said, "Stop it, silly." So I have to clear all this stuff off here. And that's my mother-in-law there. That's my first mother-in-law, Helen, who I love dearly. Don't mind the room. It's a mess. And then my wife, this is a tag on one of my presents. And here's a nice card she gave me, what I'll always leave up once I pull the trains down. Some of her boxes she liked. And I gotta pull all this shit off of here. My room's a mess, but I don't care. It is what it is. You know what? I keep it real and nothing's filtered. So, well, this train I bought right here. It was almost $500, but I got it at Christmas time. You know, how I got my stuff, I put it on layaway, you know. And that's how I bought all my stuff when I worked in the department. I never took for my bills. But these things weigh a ton. They're really freaking heavy. I probably should put them in the boxes to transport them. But this is the very first train my wife Anne Marie bought me to start my collection. And I love this train dearly. That's what started it all right there, that train. And then this hat right here was my grandmother's father. So it'd be my dad's mother's father. He was a Paul Pullman. And it's got a bunch of dust and shit on it, but this baby's old. you know, 100 and something years old, all that. All that. You know, probably, I don't know, probably close to 200 years old. You know, something crazy like that. But, so he was my great-grandfather. And, he was, let me turn this around here. Oh, I got one more train to show you now. He was a slave, believe it or not. He was born in Richmond, Virginia, and that's where the slave trade was, one of the places. Both my great-grandfathers were slaves. And anyways, my great-grandfather was half Scottish and half black. And then when he got a certain age, the slave master freed him. And then that's where he came to Pittsfield. But when he was a Pullman porter, he worked out of New York City. So he would leave, be gone for a long time. You know, and then they had a farm in Middlefield. And the rest of the children, my great-grandmother, they did the farm in Middlefield. And what they did was they sold chickens, firewood, ice. They harvest ice ponds, as you can keep ice all throughout the whole summer with sawdust. And then, let's see, and they made maple syrup and every kind of candy and everything you can think of. Maple butter, hot syrup, and then they sold butter also. So, I don't know much about the other side on my mother's great-grandfather. Well, grandfather be my great-grandfather, and but my dad's side I do, you know, and my grandmother's mother and them, they came from Portugal. So my grandmother was born here with all the siblings, and the same thing. The Portuguese started a slave trade, so they were half Portuguese and black, and other nationalities too. So ain't this world mad? But anyways, just a little history. And then my dad's side is his father. So my great-grandmother on that side was German, Scandinavian, English, and she married a black man. He was black and Indian. So whatever. But anyways, that's just a little bit of history of what I am, plus Italian also. But anyways, I have another train to show you. Right there. You see it better when I bring it downstairs. Just give you a little history of what I am. A human being. My mother, I think she might have a little mixture, but she's African American. But it doesn't even matter. My father's both. And I just go by African American with flavor. Who the fuck cares? Right? We're human beings. But that's just give you a little trip down memory lane, I guess. But I love that train that my wife bought me. That's my favorite train right there. The Western Pacific. But I love you, Slot family. Maybe I'll have something more tonight. But I told Joe that I would, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Joe, so I don't want to botch it. But, and hello to Tommy Ray also. Of course, John Deaver and Kim Deaver. Jim Benito, Rob Rodriguez, Tony Droney. And I hate when I do this because I don't want to leave anybody out. You know, everybody's been so good to me. Brian Young and all his crew. I hate when I do because I don't want to leave anybody out, but I love you, SWAT family. Maybe I'll come back on later. Have a good night. Bye now. From Minota Raceway.